Right now, in British Columbia, active property listings have hit a decade high. Homes are sitting on the market for an average over 60 days. With that kind of inventory, buyers should have complete control at the negotiation table. Yet, many are still walking away with terrible deals because they are using strategies left over from the frantic bidding wars of 2021. In a balanced market, your leverage doesn't come from acting fast. It comes from how you manage the paperwork. All that excess inventory is useless to you if you commit any of the following 7 unforced, document-based errors. The first error happens before you even draft an offer. Over-relying on automated online valuation models, or AVMs, like Zelty or House Sigma. These algorithms simply average out recent neighborhood sales. They cannot account for the actual physical condition of a home, hidden moisture issues in the building envelope, or how new provincial zoning laws impact a specific lot's potential. To get an accurate number, you need a licensed agent to pull a comparative market analysis, or CMA. This document hyper-localizes the data and gives you tangible proof of exactly what a property is worth today. Without that data, buyers often make our next mistake, submitting an arbitrary lowball offer, like 20% under list, and expecting the seller to play ball. Sellers in BC generally have strong equity buffers and deep emotional anchors to their asking price. An offer based on nothing but a gut feeling usually gets rejected outright. This chart breaks down property values in Metro Vancouver to show exactly why. The bottom layer is the raw land value. The top layer represents the baseline cost to build, which currently sits between $350 and $450 per square foot. Together, they form a strict replacement cost floor. If your offer dips below this mathematical reality, the seller simply cannot afford to sell to you. If you want to offer below the asking price, you have to prove your number is fair. You do that by attaching the recent sales data and the extended days on market metrics from your agent's CMA directly to the offer. When you replace a random lowball guess with data-backed math, you force a stubborn seller to actually sit down and negotiate. Once you agree on a price, you enter the contract phase, where buyers are still making the mistake of waiving their subjects. Writing a subject-free offer was a desperate tactic required to win during the inventory shortage of 2021. Today, it is completely unnecessary. Subject clauses are your legal armor. They give you the time to secure your financing, conduct a proper home inspection, and scan for buried oil tanks, a massive hidden liability in older BC neighborhoods. This timeline shows the strict 3-business-day window of the BC home buyer rescission period. Some buyers assume this law makes subject clauses redundant, but it also carries a mandatory 0.25. It is a statutory backstop against high-pressure sales, not a free pass to skip your due diligence. For condo and townhouse buyers, skipping due diligence means ignoring the Form B and the depreciation report. The Form B outlines the current financial health of the strata, while the depreciation report forecasts major repair costs over the next 30 years. Reviewing these is critical because the BC government recently closed a major loophole. By July 2026, almost all stratas must have an active depreciation report. This mandate is going to expose chronically underfunded reserves and force stratas to issue massive special levies to catch up on deferred maintenance. If you buy into an older building without forensically reviewing those documents, you might find yourself looking at blue tarps like these. This is a special levy in reality, a surprise assessment for building envelope repairs, reaching tens of thousands of dollars per unit. Skipping your paperwork out of a fear of losing the deal is the fastest way to inherit someone else's 6-figure debt. The final mistakes happen when buyers fail to structure their finances and terms correctly. Mistake number 5 is shopping without a locked-in pre-approval. Securing a 120-day rate hold protects your qualifying purchasing power from unexpected shifts in bank interest rates. It also shows the seller you are a serious, qualified buyer. In a market full of hesitation, presenting a rock-solid pre-approval gives the seller certainty, which acts as a powerful piece of negotiating leverage. Mistake number 6 is trying to time the market to make a quick profit, rather than buying for your lifestyle. This line graph compares the net profit of holding a BC property for 2 years versus 5 years. When you factor in the property transfer tax, agent commissions, and steep mortgage break fees, a short-term hold almost always puts you in a deep financial deficit. Real estate in this province requires a minimum 5-year holding period to absorb the transaction costs. Finally, mistake number 7 is failing to negotiate concessions. The sticker price is only one variable in your contract. If the seller won't budge on the final number, you pivot to other valuable terms. Ask for holdbacks for pending repairs, seek closing cost credits, explore mortgage rate buydowns, or extended possession dates that fit. Real estate wealth in BC is a direct result of the specific terms and legal protections you engineer into your contract. Ultimately, falling victim to any of these traps is a symptom of poor preparation, not bad luck. The 2026 market is unforgiving to those who wing it, but it rewards buyers who understand the data, use their leverage, and enforce their contractual rights. If you found this breakdown helpful, save this video and let us know in the comments which of these mistakes you've encountered. At Silent Story here in Victoria, we believe the best buyer is an informed buyer.